Good afternoon, it's time. It's time for another NFL Bucky's Mill Day. This is your host, Mike C. Of course, our show, as always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. Well, we had technical difficulties last week, and we did not post a video. We tried. 3 times we tried. And for different reasons, it just did not post. I might have had enough memory on my phone, so I deleted a bunch of pictures and files and just a bunch of crap. So hopefully this one takes, but I tried to post it twice, and one day it didn't work, and the next day it was Tuesday, and had to wait. It was almost Wednesday. I thought, you know what, we'll just scrap it. So that's what we did. But we're gonna try again this week. So this week is NFL predictions because it's football time, Bucky. The first NFL game is this Thursday, the Cowboys and Eagles, and then it all starts on the weekend, and it's about damn time. So we got some notes first. Let's get rid of the baseball first. Reds are still in third place. They're 69-68 in third place behind the Cardinals and the Cubs and the Brewers. They're in a fight with the Cardinals for that final playoff spot. Yeah, kind of a rough week, but they're still hanging in there. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for baseball. We got some Badger news, Bucky. The Badgers beat Miami of Ohio 17-0. The first game, the first shutout since 22. So that was good. I watched it. It wasn't a great game. Quarterback got injured again. He might be ready for the Alabama game, which also lost. I had a few games. The big game of the day was the Ohio State over Texas, 14-7. Not the most exciting game. In the fourth quarter, it got better. But congrats to the Ohio State Buckeyes because they beat a very good Texas team, especially defense. And they should be number one. I think they are number one. A few other games of note. Notre Dame lost to Miami, which is good because I'm not a Notre Dame fan. There's a couple other upsets. I can't remember offhand. I did not write those down. I should have. But a very good college football week. And there's more games coming. We'll go over those again next Monday. We review the Lions and the NFL games. The next Badger game is at home versus Middle Tennessee. And it's on Saturday, and it's in Madison. So they had very cool. They had the jump around was at night, and the lights. It was just very cool looking, and it was great to see him again. And hopefully their quarterback isn't too injured. He just kind of stepped wrong, and his knee just kind of gave out, and he had a brace on already. So it just kind of derailed the entire game for the Badgers. But probably won't play this week. But he should be ready, hopefully ready for the following week, which I believe is Alabama. They have a very, very tough schedule. I think the second toughest, they got Oregon they got to play. They got Michigan, Ohio State. There's a lot of Penn State, I think they play also. A lot of tough games. So it's going to be a tough year for them. But you got to win every game you can, Bucky. So what I do is I wrote down all the playoff in the division teams and highlighted a few. I try to pick like at least two of the best teams in each division, in each conference, and from that, the playoffs. I didn't go into great depth with that. But I do have who I think is going to win the division, and we'll start that with the AFC East. I've got the Bills winning. I've got the Dolphins and the Patriots. Those are possible potential playoff teams. I didn't break them down into brackets. I just didn't do that. The West, I've got the Chiefs winning again. But I think the Broncos are going to provide a very tough struggle for the Chiefs. They're going to rebound, I believe, but the Broncos are up and coming team. So I think it'll be between the two of those teams. The AFC North, the Ravens again, a very, very good team. And I got the Bengals squeaking in there. The Browns, we'll see. But I think the Bengals, they get to a better start than they did last year. I think they'll be in pretty good shape. In the South, I've got the Texans, the only team because the rest of the division stinks. Tennessee, things like that. Ugh. NFC, I've got the NFC East. We'll start again. I got the Eagles winning. I got the Commissioners in second. Cowboys, they traded Michael Parsons, which was huge. They traded the Packers, which I wasn't happy about. 2 first-round picks, and Kenny Clark, I think his name was. So it was good and bad, and his salary is gonna hurt him. The lack of top draft picks, but if they win the Super Bowl, it's not gonna matter. They're comparing when they signed Reggie White many years ago. Parsons is a very good player. We'll see what happens with that. And guess who the Lions play the first game of the year? I don't think the Cowboys will make the playoffs. They possibly could. NFC West, I've got the Rams winning, and the 49ers I think are going to make a comeback. And we'll see about that. Also the Hawks. I think the Seahawks. Those are pretty strong as far as playoff teams go. I think it should be okay. NFC North, great division. I've got the Lions winning. They're not going to win 15 games this year. Probably closer to 12. Between 11 and 13, that's why I picked 12. They got a much, much tougher schedule. They got better defense. Offense, they're always, every time I watch a story on the Lions offense, it's the coordinators are different, blah, blah, blah. Their offensive lines, retirements, blah, it's like, if they come together, I think that they'll be just fine. Defense will be improved, not just from the, playoff run. I think just overall they'll be improved. And I think they're going to win. And I also have the Packers, especially with the Michael Parsons trade, and the Vikings. They should make the playoffs. J.J. McCarthy is still a question mark. He's basically a rookie quarterback. You just don't know. And their secondary is a little shaky too. Same with the Packers. Packers secondary is very questionable. The South, I got the Bucks winning, possibly the Falcons. So there's your playoff teams. You can pick and choose which ones you want. Add, subtract. It's fine. I made a Super Bowl prediction. Went on a limb, Bucky. But first, before that, Bucky, what in the world do you have in front of you? Well, I got my Lions hat there, and I've got my football, and I don't want to turn that because it'll. And I had the football and something else last week. I thought, well, you try it again. And then I got a picture that I printed off Pinterest of football on fire, and that's what we're going to do this week. So it's on fire because it's going to start. And happy Labor Day to everybody. I forgot to mention that. Labor Day is not the same as it used to be back in the day. I was reading something on Facebook today. The last Jerry Lewis telethon was 2010. 2010, Bucky. And man, that was a long time ago. And that was a staple. Everybody watched the telethon. It was back in the cities. They used to have, for at least a couple of years, they had big celebrations. They had food trucks and, just a bunch of tables. It was a big celebration down there. They had guests. They had, just a bunch of stuff. And it was a lot of fun. and they had it for a couple of years. But everybody watched the telethon, and it's hard to believe it was that long ago. And of course, Jerry Lewis died, and everybody else, Ed McMahon died. So I was surprised that nobody took up the mantle for that. But I don't know if they even do anything anymore. I think they might, but it might be just local. I don't know. But they raised over $2 billion for muscular dystrophy. So that was cool. It's a good cause. But yeah, 2010, Bucky. Wow. So anyway, so that's what I got in front of me: the hat, the flaming football and the regular football, and of course Bucky. And my prediction for the Super Bowl, I figured, what the hell? It's my channel. I picked the Lions over the Bills. So two teams that have never won a Super Bowl. And if they're going to do it, it should be this year, because next year is going to be even harder, I think, as far as other teams go. And the Lions, their payroll and their money structure is going to change. And, Hutch will have to be paid. A couple other players have to be paid. Yes, it'll switch around. It'll improve, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to sign players. So if they're going to do it, it's this year. It should have been last year, but it'll be, it's going to have to be this year. So I'm picking them to win, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's about it, Bucky. So we're not doing anything for Labor Day. It's raining outside. It's just a crappy day, and we're just kind of taking it easy. And Carla's home, so we're just chilling. So hopefully this will get posted. And oh, here comes Murphy. Hi, Murphy. You came down. Hi, there's Murphy. There he is. Oh, there he goes. So for Mike Cena, of course, Star Show, as always, it's Bucky. Say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye. And take care. And we didn't have a video last year, so I don't know how many, or last week, so I couldn't tell you how many watched because nobody watched. So we'll start again, and take care and stay safe, and we'll catch you next week. Bye now. Go Lions.